Hey everybody, welcome back to my vlog for today. Today's Top 5 Tuesdays. Today, you guys bear with me guys, this is the third time I'm trying to do this. I keep getting my tongue tied and my thoughts are all jumbled and everything, so today's Top 5 Tuesdays. And as I said last week, I picked my 5 favorite TV shows, and today and the next following Tuesdays I'm going to take each show and break it down to my favorite episodes. So I tried looking for my five episodes, like summaries of them, because I can't remember the whole plot to all my favorite episodes, because especially with Seinfeld, because there's so many episodes and so many seasons. There's like 9 seasons. So it was difficult to pick out a favorite episode from each season. But I think I picked out some of the ones that are more funnier than others, or at least to me they are. And like I said, I've been watching the show since I was a kid, and I never understood a lot of the jokes that were being made when I was a kid. Just because you're a kid, you don't know. You can't pick up on adult jokes when you're a kid and you haven't experienced certain things. So, yeah. But for some reason, I just always watched Seinfeld when it was on Fox, and it's still on Fox at night to this day. And it's been in reruns for I don't know how many years it's been in reruns, but I knew it was when I was in school, and when I was younger, it was real. I think it was a real episode. Probably when I was a little kid, yeah. But anyways. One of the episodes I picked out, and I got my laptop here to refresh my memory about the plot of each episode, is the first one is the marine biologist. George starts dating a college friend who, thanks to Jerry, thinks George is now a marine biologist. Elaine's electronic organizer injures a person after being launched out from the limo by a Russian novelist, and Kramer decides to golf on the beach. So the funny part with that, and got him out of breath. The funny part about that is Kramer going to the beach and golfing there, and then it all ties in together because George ends up at the beach at the end with this girl he's dating, and you can hear Larry David's voice in the background saying, "Anybody a marine biologist?" And then George obviously has to, in George's fashion, try to go along with the lie and continue to be a marine biologist. But the funny part is that he found the problem with the whale that beached itself, and that's why Larry David in the background yells, "Is anyone a marine biologist?" And George gets on top of the whale, supposedly, because they don't show this part, but George basically gets on top of the whale, and he said he's face to face with the blowhole, and he he gets what's in the whale's blowhole out, and it was a golf ball. And it's funny because Kramer was golfing at the beach, so he got a hole in one. So I thought that was pretty funny. Moving on to the next one. This next one is one of my all-time favorites. There's a lot to read from the plot, but basically the gist of it is there's a new frozen yogurt shop that everyone's trying out, and Kramer invested in it. And this episode's particularly funny because there's cursing in it, and they bleep it out. But Jerry, in the beginning of the episode, says, "This is so effing good," and then I think at that point the little kid walks past him. The mom of the owner of the shop basically hears Jerry swear, and excuse me, hears Jerry swear. And Jerry said he would apologize, and long story short, the kid and the mom show up. The kid and the mom show up at Jerry's apartment, so Jerry could apologize to the mom and to the kid. And so he does, and he has him over, and he does apologize. But then the little kid proceeds to, as Jerry answers a phone call, he takes one of Jerry's tapes out of his tape machine and starts pulling all the tape out of it. And then Jerry yells, "You effing SOB or something like that. I don't know, it was just funny. So that's why that one's funny to me. Next one is the Calzone episode. So the Calzone is the 130th episode of the NBC sitcom Seinfeld. In this episode, George Costanza gets the ear of George Steinbrenner's having calzones for lunch with him. Elaine reportedly goes out to dinner and movies with the guy who never actually asked her out. And Kramer decides he has clothes in dryers and ovens. So this one is pretty straightforward. I'm running out of time here. Oh boy. So George gets calzones. Steinbrenner likes the calzones. George has to keep bringing Steinbrenner calzones because he likes them so much, because he tried George's eggplant calzone, and then something happened with the tip jar, so George wasn't allowed back to the place where he got calzones from, and then Kramer went there with pockets filled with change, and he tried getting the calzones for George, and he also asked the cook to put his clothes in the pizza oven just to warm them up. And that was one of the funny parts, is when Kramer kept putting his clothes in the oven or in the dryer, and he wears them right out of the dryer so they're nice and warm. And so that's pretty much it for that one. The next one is, I'm trying to do this because of time's sake. The next one's a Soup Nazi episode. Obviously that's a classic. The whole No Soup for You thing was a pretty big thing for the show. It's I don't know. It's just I think it explains itself. The guy is just nuts. He wants to the blah blah. The guy who's makes this amazing soup, but you have to order it in a certain way or else you don't get your soup. And they name him the Soup Nazi. So that's just a funny episode in itself, just because of the title of it. I mean, and the guy who plays the part, he plays it well. He looks like he's always mad, and the soup becomes a big thing, and something happens later on, and Kramer gets a new hutch for Elaine, and because something happened to her, I think it got stolen, and Kramer, I think it does. Let me see. I can't remember, but so basically Kramer gets Elaine a new armoire. That's what I was looking for. Look, he got her a new armoire from the Soup Nazi, and then Elaine found out it's from the Soup Nazi, and she knows. And then she goes and visits him, the Soup Nazi, and says thanks for the armoire. And then he finds out if it was for her, because before Elaine went into the soup place, she was like banging on the shelves, and she told him he looked like Al Pacino, and then the Soup Nazi told her not to come back for 1 year because he got upset about something. I know there's some parts I'm missing here, but so anyways, he said if he'd known the hutch would have been for Elaine, he would have chopped it to pieces with a hatchet. So anyways, the last one I picked is the nap. The nap's a great episode because George is just ridiculous. So George is tired and needs to take a nap while at work. He finds a perfect place under his desk. Kramer has taken up swimming, but he finds the local pool to be too constricting to his needs, and he begins swimming in the East River between Queensboro Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. She gives Kramer the mattress. Okay, and yeah, the new mattress is there's a part where Elaine thinks that this guy ordered a mattress for her, and she takes offense to it, like he wants to just jump into bed with her already and whatnot. So she gives the mattress to Kramer, and then Kramer sleeps on it. And since Kramer is swimming in the East River, he starts smelling bad like the river does, and he slept on the mattress. And then later on, Elaine finds out that the guy she was dating did that as a favor for her to help her sleep better and have a better mattress. So she tries to get the mattress back from Kramer, and then Kramer gives it back, and then it smells like the East River, like because Kramer was sleeping or swimming in the East River. So that's pretty much the gist of them. Oh, and then George with the nap. It's funny too because Jerry's getting his apartment redone, and George asks the guy who's redoing Jerry's apartment if he could make a space underneath George's desk for him to sleep and put an alarm clock and whatever, so he can crawl under his desk and take a nap at work, which I thought was pretty funny. So he ends up getting stuck down there too. Excuse me. But yeah, George ends up getting stuck under there, and then he tries calling Jerry, and Jerry's like, "Who is this?" That's a classic line from when George calls Jerry. Or he'll say, "Uncle Leo," and then it's obviously George on the other end of the line, but Jerry's just screwing with him. So, the nap's a good episode. I think all 5 of those are good episodes. I went over my time. I'm like, oh man. But, what was I going to say? I forgot. I was going to say, let me know what your guys' favorite show is, and let me know what your favorite episodes of each show are. I'd like to hear what you guys think of Seinfeld, and if you have a favorite episode and why. That'd be cool to have some feedback and everything, because there's still so many shows to talk about with Seinfeld. So leave me a like, leave me a comment, see what you or let me know what you think. I think I covered as much as I wanted to. So that's going to be it for me for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.